Did you say, quote, racist white Southerners, close quote, and, quote, hostile white voters and governmental officials in Louisiana continue to make local polling places and early voting locations threatening spaces for black voters? Did you say that?
Senator, I do not believe that I said that. I haven't read that publication in some time.
Will you help write it?
I helped to draft the publication and approved it, but I'm not familiar with that language.
You don't? Okay. You said that voter identification, photo ID to vote, is burdensome and does not serve any legitimate state interest. Do you really believe that? You were involved in a 2021 report from the Southern Poverty Law Center about voting in Louisiana. Did you say, quote, racist white Southerners, close quote, and, quote, hostile white voters and governmental officials in Louisiana continue to make local polling places and early voting locations threatening spaces for black voters? Did you say that?
Senator, I do not believe that I said that. I haven't read that publication in some time.
Will you help write it?
I helped to draft the publication and approved it, but I'm not familiar with that language.
You don't? Okay. In that same report, did you say, well, tell me where in Louisiana local polling places and early voting locations are threatening African-American voters?
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to Liberty Trigger. Today, we're breaking down a heated Senate exchange that's getting a lot of attention. Senator John Kennedy questioning a judicial nominee about her past comments on voter ID laws and race in Louisiana. The moment went viral, but let's look at what was really said and why it matters. During a confirmation hearing, Senator Kennedy brought up a 2021 report from the Southern Poverty Law Center, a report the nominee helped draft and approve. The report allegedly described racist white Southerners and claimed that polling places in Louisiana were threatening spaces for black voters. When Kennedy asked if she said that, the nominee said she didn't recall those words and hadn't reviewed the report in some time. She admitted helping write it, but distanced herself from the specific language. Kennedy pushed harder, asking her to name which polling places were supposedly threatening. She couldn't provide an example. Then Kennedy brought up another part of the same report, a statement calling voter ID laws burdensome and claiming they serve no legitimate state interest. When asked whether she still believed that, the nominee avoided a direct answer.
You said it, so which polling places?
So again, Senator, obviously I don't have that report in front of me to be able to read and remind myself of the examples that might have been shared. But what I can say is that Louisiana...
Let me cut you off because I'm going to run out of time, Counselor. Let me ask you one more. In August 2021, we're not talking 20 years ago, we're talking 2021, you were involved in another report by the SPLC, and you said that voter identification, photo ID to vote, is burdensome and does not serve any legitimate state interest. Do you really believe that?
Senator, identification for voting is something...
Yes, but first, do you really believe that? You said it. You meant it?
The Supreme Court in Crawford v. Marion County has already upheld voter ID laws as per se constitutional.
Yeah, but you said it didn't serve any legitimate state interest. Do you believe that?
Again, Senator, without that language in front of me, it's hard to understand the context.
You said it. Here it is, August 2021.
Well, there are cases...
I'm just asking you to explain to me why having to prove you are who you say you are before you vote doesn't serve... You said it doesn't serve any legitimate state interest. I'm just asking to explain that statement to me.
I understand, Senator Kennedy, and again, without being able to see the language that appears before and after, it's hard for the context.
You deny that you said it?
I can't say that I haven't seen that language in front of me, but what I do know is that there have been voter ID cases in which courts have found
But
that
I know I'm familiar with the case law, but I'm asking what you think, because you may be on the 11th Circuit. Do you believe that voter ID is inappropriate?
my commitment is to uphold the Supreme Court's decision in Crawford v.
I
Marion
know, but
County.
here you said it was inappropriate. You deny that?
Well, again,
Saying it?
Senator, it would be helpful to know if that section of the report also cites to cases in which federal courts have found that certain voter ID laws do pose an burden on voters.
Thank you, Senator Kennedy. Senator Booker?
I'm going to yield to Senator Whitehouse, who's more seniority.
Senator Whitehouse more senior than Senator Booker.
And more hair.
Now, that's no reason to yield.
That's a big group, Senator Booker.
Let's test them in the 40, though, and see who wins.
It's kind of a clean sweep of the committee. So
saying she couldn't comment without seeing the full context. Instead, she cited Crawford versus Marion County, the 2008 Supreme Court case that upheld voter Idaho laws as constitutional. It was clear Kennedy wanted a straight answer, not case law. He wanted to know her personal belief. But, as many nominees do, she stayed neutral, sticking to precedent. This hearing wasn't just about one nominee. It reflected a much larger national debate about whether voter ID laws protect elections or suppress participation. Supporters say voter ID ensures integrity, that every legal vote counts and every illegal vote doesn't. Critics argue it can discourage minority or low-income voters who may face challenges getting identification. Kennedy's questioning represented that tension between protecting voting security and ensuring accessibility. So what's the takeaway? Kennedy's style, sharp, direct, and unfiltered, resonated with people who want accountability from public officials. Others felt the questioning was more political than legal. Either way, the exchange reminded everyone how emotional and divided the conversation around voting still is. At the end of the day, this hearing wasn't just about one nominee's memory. It was about what kind of democracy Americans want. One that prioritizes security or one that focuses on access. Ideally, it's both. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the biggest moments on Capitol Hill.